Okay, my name is Ivo, like he said. It's IVO. So you gringos might call me Ivo, and I'm okay with that. All right. I'm broker of Godas Realty. I'm a real estate broker. I moved here with mom, dad, and my brothers and sisters in 1980. So I did the same thing as you did, or you're planning to do, but 43 years ago. It's been a while, and it's been a good ride. And that's what this is all about. Do you really want to move to Costa Rica? Is it such a great idea? Is it going to be like what you've been dreaming about? Most of us dream about coming to Costa Rica. We want to retire and sit at the pool and sip piña coladas, right? Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who start sipping and never stop sipping. And there's other people who get bored after a while, and then they say, "Now what do with my life?" And that's really what today and tomorrow is all about. Okay, you're going to get a ton of information, and that's what the ARCR tries to do to give you, and you do with it whatever you want to do. But congratulations, because it's amazing how few people do the due diligence that you are doing now. We used to have 30, 40, 50 people in the seminar. Social media is messing it up. And now people ask questions on Facebook and they get 30,322 answers and their opinions, and people don't realize that. And everybody will like to move to a different area. I live in Escazú. Some of you might want to live at the beach. Once you figured it out, which beach are you going to go to? We have 800 miles of beachfront. That's a lot of coastline. And now you got to figure it out. So let's see if we can figure it out in these next 2 days, or at least get you guys going. So is your retirement going to be, or your move to Costa Rica, not always retirement? We get a lot of people who start a business here, but is it going to be the way you wanted it to be or not? Next. Hell no. Is Costa Rica paradise or hell? I know a lot of people say Costa Rica is hell. They say, hell, it's beautiful here. Hell, the food is great here. Hell, the women or the men are gorgeous here. That's a problem. You better be careful on that one. Hell, I'm having a great time. Is Costa Rica paradise or not? Next one, Carlos, please. Okay, Costa Rica will not be that tropical dream that you've been having for all those years. It's so easy to make all these mistakes, and that's why I put them one after the other after the other. And there's a ton more, but these are the most important ones. And this is what I find as a realtor. I've been a realtor for 35 years. I have had a lot of people who get started and think they know it all, and they try it out for a year, and then one of these reasons, they get ugly on Facebook, they get ugly everywhere, they get ugly on the street, they start shouting at the cashier at the bank, etc. And these are the reasons they're going to go back. They're going to end up back home again. And you don't want to be one of those. You expect the locals to adjust to you. It's amazing how many people say, back home, this and that, you know. You do it all wrong. No, it's a different country, different language, different customs. Everything is different. So they might do things different than you do, but you might be doing the wrong way here in Costa Rica. You might be doing it right where you came from, but not here. You're ignorant and arrogant. That's a very common thing. You think the world turns around you? Guess what? It doesn't. You run at the first signs of not liking it here. There's a lot. That's why, and you'll see during these 2 days, renting is better to get started, or get your feelers out, or do Airbnb a month here, a month there. We'll get to all of that, but that is the reason. And once you've bought a property, it's not so easy to run anymore. You're not game for any challenges and adventures. This is really what it's all about, the adventure, the doing something different. Now, if you're not game for the adventures, I had this lady from New York the other day on the phone, on Zoom actually, And it's like she expected to find the same thing as downtown New York. And she was going to move to Ecuador, and because of what's going on in Ecuador, she says, I'm looking at Costa Rica, and she says, but I want to be in an expat community. I said, why? She says, because I don't want to learn Spanish. Okay, I said, now I can send you to the beaches. No, that's too hot. Okay, now you could be in Escazú, but in the stores, the cashier won't speak English. The doctor will, the lawyer will, your realtor will. There's a ton of people who do speak English, but not the cleaning lady, not the lady at the cashier at Walmart. You know, she said, okay. And I saw where it was going. I said, you know, you better come, visit, check it out, and then we'll take it from there. And I know this is not going to work, okay? You're not ready for a new lifestyle. That's what that lady is all about. She should stay in New York. And it's better to figure it out now, because once you've moved, you're going to be one of those ugly people online, you know, being ugly with everybody. You compare everything how it was back home. That's a very normal thing, and it will take you a while. I still do it after 43 years, okay? Carlos, next one, please. So before you start looking at properties for rent and for sale, there's a couple of things you need to figure out first. Do you want to live in the city, urban lifestyle? You want to be in the countryside? Countryside is totally different than where you come from. Or you want to live at the beach? 3 different locations, 3 different lifestyles. Carlos, next one, please. Okay, now you want to make a list of requirements to get to what this guy is doing. He's having fun. Nothing is perfect. Adjust to the best available options or don't go to step 2. You really need to adjust. That's the one thing to keep in mind. And that's with everything. That's when you go to the grocery store. You know, you won't find everything that you used to buy, but look for solutions. By the way, if you shop American, it's going to cost. Try to shop local, learn the language. If you look for cornflakes that are made in Guatemala, because it's much cheaper than Post or Kellogg's from the US. And it's the same thing, okay? So you need to adjust. And that's to the weather, to the people around you, to the foods, to everything that's there. And you will find a lot of things the same as back home. You know, it doesn't mean that everything is different. No, you will find a lot of things that are exactly the same. But you will find a lot of things that are totally different, and you might not like it. Think about your home requirements before you start shopping. By the way, I'm going to send you the PowerPoint presentations that you're going to see with me in the next 2 days. I'm going to send it to you by email. You will first get an email to make sure it's not ending up in your spam folder. You confirm, then I'll start sending stuff that you're going to see. And so you don't have to write anything down about this. Most of it is clickable also. You're going to see some that is just click, 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 and it's easy. So you're going to have it all together. But those are important things. Single story. Our knees are not working as well as they were 30 years ago. Or they might not soon enough. We got some people young enough here to have healthy knees. Mine are not as healthy anymore, I know. Condo apartment, gated community, large garden, how many bedrooms, views, pool, guest house. Those are just a few things that you might want to have or might say, hey, if I can have it, great. If it's not there, I could live with it. Or this is a must. Next one, Carlos. Thanks. Do I want to have or bring pets? He wants to go. I have 2 of those, and they will go. They'll sit in the car before I open it up. So you want to bring pets. First, it's a hassle to bring them. I've had people just a month ago who flew him down. There is now a service. They fly him down from Fort Lauderdale to Liberia, but it's like $5,000 for each pet. There's people who are willing to pay it because they don't want to have their dogs underneath. Um, Disability requirements. You have you seen the gutters on the streets here? You can hide a truck in those. So if you're in a wheelchair, from one sidewalk to the other is like, okay, how am I going to get there? That is something you got to think about before you move. Some areas you won't have that many gutters, and there's other things, you know. So that is something you need to look at. Healthcare. You don't want to be in Drake Bay and you have a bad heart and you're 4 hours away from a decent hospital. I find that a lot of people go to the Central Valley because of hospital care, because they want the private hospital care. Once you become a resident, you're going to be in the CAHA, which is a social security system. Most hospitals that belong to the CAHA are good, but you might have to stand in line. And they might tell you come back next year. And now if you're having a heart attack and they tell you come back next year, not a good idea. Okay, so you want to go to the CIMA, to the Metropolitan Hospital, you want to go to the Clinica Biblica. Those are the three main private hospitals that have actually connections with your private health insurance, most of them. That's something you need to check on also. So healthcare is an issue, or might be an issue. Work, do you need to work? I don't know if any of you plans to work, but it might be important to live. I have a lot of people who say, oh, you know, I'm going to work in San Jose. I'm looking for a house in San Jose. Yeah, but where in San Jose? Because you could go from the east to the west, and it takes you an hour and a half if traffic is that bad. Grecia is 40-minute drive. It could take you 2 hours to get there. So depending on traffic and all of that. And that's the same not only with work, that's with hobbies and all kinds of issues that you might have to hit the road. And hey, if you're retired, who is in a hurry? But each their own. Shopping requirements. Shopping is expensive in Costa Rica. You will see that you will keep traveling a lot. Family and friends, or you have family and friends visiting, so you can order on Amazon and have it delivered to them, because everything you shop here, you will have to pay the taxes. It's included when you shop here. When you shop on Amazon, you will have to pay the taxes when it's coming in. Okay, so it doesn't mean Amazon is cheap. No, it's the same price, but you'll pay for the shipping and you'll pay for the taxes. We have good malls, but everything has taxes. My wife and I, for the last 30 years, we've been traveling once a year to Florida. We pay our ticket by what we save on shopping. And then we stick another, like a week or 2 weeks vacations to it. And we have the clothing that we need. All my clothing, including my underwear, is US, which ends up coming from China probably, but it's different. The quality is way different and the price is different. Cultural requirements. You want to go to the theater, you want to go to the Philharmonic Orchestra, that kind of stuff, that's in San Jose. If you're going to be in the beaches, you'll have to travel to get that, even though some of the beaches have Envision Festival in Dominical once a year. There's always stuff going on. Okay, but that's important to figure it out. Sorry. Sports requirements. I don't think anybody of you is going to play American football anymore, but those are the things that you might want to look at when you play tennis, for example. Tennis courts are not everywhere, and some places are very hot to play tennis also. Food requirements. Vegan, gluten-free, lactose-free. I'm gluten and lactose intolerant. My wife is vegan. Don't ever invite us for dinner because it's going through hell and back, okay? But it's expensive. You know, you go to the supermarket, the cost of my food is twice as much of what most people eat for. So, and you might not find it in the place where you're going to want to live. If you want to live in Flamingo, you might find a few things in the grocery store, but not what you can find here. So the Automacao, that's one of the grocery stores you want to always look at. Automacao has a lot of imported stuff. They're not that much more expensive. They're very much like Publix in Florida. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They have everything. Okay, but at a certain cost. Next one, Carlos, please. Yeah, we have bugs and critters and spiders. That's what we have in tropics. The higher elevation, the less bugs you have. The lower the elevation, the more bugs. And we have dengue. We don't have malaria. We have COVID. COVID is back again. But you can have screened doors and windows. It's there if you want it. I don't have it in my house. We just spray once or twice a year and we're done with it. When we see the ants coming in the beginning of the rainy season, then we know we got to spray again. But you better, if you're afraid of snakes, don't run, walk. They're afraid for us. To step on a snake, I found a snake in my daughter's bed when she was a year and a half old, and she is now 40. Okay, so in the Central Valley, you won't. It's not normal to see a snake. You might find some if you live somewhere in the jungle, yes, and some beach areas will have snakes. It's mainly the bugs, that the spiders and that kind of things. Religion. We have a lady right now. She is Protestant. We still haven't been able to figure out which Protestant church she wants to go to. On our website, we do have a list of all the churches in all over the country, English-spoken churches. So there's a Baptist church here in Escazú. There's all kinds of stuff. But if you want to go to church regularly and you don't want to drive 3 or 4 hours to come to church on a Sunday or on a Saturday, then you might want to check it out. The location. Find out the location you like best. Try it out. Go to the different places. Find out. Read about it or send me an email. And you'll see there, we will get to that. There's a blog about how to find out what's the best place to go. And I'm going to send you that email with the link in it. And just fill it out. You know, it's like a questionnaire. So it's very simple. And 9 out of 10, we hit it right on. So you don't have to like go all over the place to figure it out. Humidity is an issue. I lived in the Central Pacific for 2 years. I worked with a couple of developers. This is back in the 90s. I couldn't stand the humidity. I can stand the heat, that's okay, but the humidity is a killer. Women get curls again. All right? Guys also do, but guys usually like it when they get the curls again. But the location, you really need to work on the location first. Okay, that's the first thing. So, you know, start looking at properties. No, find out first what the good locations are, and then stay there for a month and work on that from there on. Figure out your budget to rent. 550,000 or 3,000, and that's the same with when you want to purchase. You want to spend 50,000. You want to spend 2 million. Because there's areas, of course. You don't want to live in a $2 million mansion in the middle of the shacks, and it's there, believe me. And where I live in Escazú, if you go to the southern part of Escazú, you got the shacks, and you got the $1 million properties right in the middle of it because of the views. It's there, and if that's your choice, but there's different stuff also, okay? Hot or cool? We get people who say, I want to be cool. Fine, I want to be in the 40s, won't work. But you can be in the upper 60s, beginning of the 70s. You could get there, that within the Central Valley, not outside the valley, okay? But that's often when you're a couple, the wife wants hot and the husband wants cold. I've had that, been there, done that. Then you look for something in the middle, and then you can go to the beach or you can go to the mountains for the weekend and everybody's happy. But be careful with that because you can screw it up for both of you if you know. I had one lady, she bought the house, this is 35 years ago. She bought the house in the mountains in Coronado, which is on the Irazu on the top, almost on the top of the Irazu volcano. It's cold there, and she loved it. And I said, "Are you sure your husband is going to like it?" Yeah, they were Dutch, and he stayed in Holland, and she was looking for houses. Okay, it's like if that's what you like. When he moved in 6 months later, please sell the house. It took a while because nobody wanted to live on the top of the mountain. Then they moved to the golf course in Los Reyes, which is hot. So they didn't like it either. And yeah, some people just do what they want to do, and I don't get involved. Do you want to buy or rent?